question for you guys. What do you think our lesson today is going to be about? Dean, what do you think?
Time.
Time? Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that would be correct. So I have a question for you. Dean, following that up, what time is it right now? Can you tell me without looking at a digital watch, what time is it? No clue. What time is it?
It's
9:21. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I have a question for you, follow-up question that I would love to have the answer to. And Patrick, you were raising your hand, weren't you, a couple of seconds ago? What time is it going to be in like 2 hours and 20 minutes?
What does she have in that
Oh, I got it. Okay.
41.
Yeah, 11:41. That's pretty good. That is good work. I'm impressed with that. Now, let's see. What time is it going to be? What time was it 3 hours and 17 minutes ago? What do you think? Is that kind of hard to do in your head? Guys, if you, what?
I'm doing it.
Yeah, why don't you guys take a look at those clocks? Pick those up, because those are tools that you can use. Now I want everybody to try to figure out what time it was 3 hours and 17 minutes ago. You can use the clock. You think you got the answer? What time was it 3 hours and 17 minutes ago?
6:03.
6:03. Okay, that is pretty good, Dean. And you didn't even need to use
7:03.
7:03? 6:03. Okay. Dean, what Dean just did there, guys, was he kind of showed you, and I want everybody to put the analog clocks down, okay? You were right your first answer. But what Dean just did there was, and showed, was analog clocks are kind of hard sometimes, right? To tell time on, because is that hand closer? You know, is it 10? Were you concerned that it was 10:21 or 9:21? Was that the issue, Dean?
No, I thought it was 7:03 or 6:03.
Okay, so boys and girls, how many times have you, and that's okay, telling time on an analog clock and knowing what time it is going to be, or was, like however many hours ago, or what time it's going to be, like 4 hours from now, is tough, okay? It's really tough. That's called elapsed time, and that's what our lesson today is about. How many of you remember that problem that Mr. Akers gave us about the appointment times? Do you guys remember that, the question of the day about the appointment times? How hard was that question? It was pretty hard, guys, because, I mean, I was there. Not too many got the question right, in general, okay? That's because the last time was really difficult. But I'm going to teach you guys some strategies today that will help you solve problems like that, okay, without fail. I mean, generally speaking, if you use those, there's one tool, and I talked about this when we did that problem, that if you use it correctly, elapsed time will be a breeze, okay? So today, that's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn how to answer story problem questions like these that involve elapsed time, okay? And then what we'll do, we'll continue on Monday with a project about you guys getting to go on design a field trip from Mosinee Middle School, potentially doing all sorts of fun activities in Marathon County within an 8-hour time period, okay? But you have to be back so your parents can pick you up. So that's what we're going to do on Monday, okay? So I have a question before we get started, though, just so I know. Yes, Dean?
Is everybody going to go?
I mean, everybody. You can design it for the 5th grade, sure. Yeah, everybody can go. You're designing it. You're going to work with a partner to design it, okay? And there's going to be different activities, but we'll talk more about that on Monday. Now, I have a question for you guys. I want to see where you guys are at, just so I know how far I have to go into things. Can somebody tell me how many seconds there are in a minute? I just need to know, because that'll give me a baseline. Dean, how many seconds are there in a minute?
60.
Perfect. Now, question: how many minutes are there in an hour? How many minutes are there in an hour? 6 minutes, or it's close. Multiply that by 10. Yep, 60. Okay, so guys, the great thing about time, and that's wherever you are, no matter how you tell it, number of seconds in an hour, seconds in a minute, and the number of minutes in an hour, exact same, 60. Okay. Now, last question: how many hours are there in a day? Patrick, how many hours are there in a day?
24.
24. Okay, so that's good. We got that baseline. Now, I have a question for you guys. I'm going to write a word on the board here, and I want you guys to tell me if you know what this word means. Okay? Or it's a series of words. It's 2 words, actually. Elapsed time. Okay, that's the word. Does anybody know what that means? Patrick, what does elapsed time mean?
Like time that has passed.
Time that has passed. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Now I have a question for you, though. Taking that one step further. Can you help me out with this? One step further. Elapsed time. What can it? Is it always time that has passed? Or could it be time that's in the future as well? Okay. Elapsed time problems actually can be. Okay? Even though elapsed means time that's happened in the past, they can be. Okay? The same theories. So with elapsed time, story problems that involve that will either be time that happened, they're either going to ask you questions about time that has already happened, or time that will happen, or they may ask you to solve the amount of time that it takes to actually do something, okay, based on figures. So story problems involving that, really one of 2 or 3 things. Now, I have another question for you. Okay, and I might need some help with this because, again, I'm just trying to figure out what I need to teach you guys about. You should know what this is, but I just want to know. Number line. What is a number line? Do you know what a number line is? What do you think? Let's try to help you out a little bit. I'm sure you got it. So, number line. What is a number line? Talica, what's a number line?
A line that has numbers.
Right, that is true. It's a line that has numbers. How is it helpful in math? What can we do with it to help us in math, Patrick? What can we do?
You can also use fractions.
You can use fractions on it. Can you count on it? Like to show how many numbers come in before and after?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what's going to be helpful. Did you guys hear what Patrick said? He said yes to that. That's what's going to be helpful. A number line is actually going to help us with our counting of time, okay? And I'm going to show you guys how to use a number line and why it's so important, okay? So here's a couple of problems that I had up here, okay? A couple of problems. First of all, I'm going to solve this problem. I'm going to model how to do this with a number line, okay, effectively. Okay, and solve this problem. Mr. Akers arrives at school at 7:30, okay? If he is at school for 8 hours and 35 minutes, what time does he leave school, okay? Now, hold on. I'm going to try to figure this out with the number line, okay? Okay, so I got my number line. I think the first number that I'm going to use on this, that I'm going to set up, is 7:30. Okay? 7:30. Okay, so what's an easy round number for me to get to with that? I'm going to start with 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I apologize if these aren't right. So 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 plus 5. So that puts me at 12:30. And I know I need 3 more. So we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that puts me at 12 plus 3. That puts me at 3:30. And then I know I've got 5 minutes more because I've got 8 hours and 35 minutes. And I think that's the first thing that I needed to remember about this is if he arrives at school at 7:30 and he's at school for 8 hours and 35 minutes, guys, what time does he leave? I know when it's asking me that question that I'm definitely adding time. Okay?
Good question. Okay.
So,
All right.
I'm at 3:30, so if I add plus 5 minutes equals 3:35 p.m. Okay? So I use the number line to add the hour intervals, and then I added 5 minutes. Now, the next problem's a little different, and I want you guys to try this on your dry erase boards, and you can use the clock, but also use the number line, okay? Also use the number line as you do it, okay? So I'll read the problem. Alex and DJ go to a movie that ends at 7:40. If the movie lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes, what time did the movie begin? Yes.
You forgot the 30 minutes.
Oh, that's right, I did. Look at that. I did forget it, and he was the only one who caught it. Even you were saying it was so easy. I overheard you saying it's so easy, and he was the only one who caught it. That is correct. I made a mistake. So that takes me to that. Now let's see. Plus 30. 5, 6. So he leaves at 365? No? Why can't it? Why doesn't he leave at 365? What's the problem with that?
Because 60 minutes in an hour, and so that means you're going to have another hour.
Right. So it's another. So there's another whole hour there. That's the other thing that's really important. When you're working on a number line, always try to go to the next full hour. Okay. So if I had known this, what I would probably recommend doing with this in the future here, I would add the 30 minutes because that's easy. I know 3:30 plus 30 minutes is going to take me to 4. So it's at 4. It's at 4 o'clock, and then if I add my 5 minutes to it, because I've still got 5 minutes left, it takes me to 4:05 p.m. Okay. Thank you for catching that. Okay, now we're going to work on this one. This one's a little different. I want to ask you guys what, before we start, because this is the first. Ms. Fielder said you guys maybe haven't had experience with this type of elapsed time problem. Alex and DJ go to a movie that ends at 7:40. If the movie lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes, what time did the movie begin? Now I have a question. What do you think you're doing? I love it that Nevaeh is starting to draw her number line. That's great. But before you do that, which way am I going? Am I adding or subtracting, Patrick? What do you think?
Subtracting.
Why, and how did you know that?
Because it says the movie ended at 7:40, and it says when did the movie begin?
Okay, so ends at 7:40. What time? And it wants to know what time did the movie begin. And what's the other key piece of information there, Patrick? Because the clock or the number line could help you if you do this right. What's the other key piece of information?
It lasted 2 hours.
2 hours and 15 minutes. Lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes, okay? So, with that data, you can use the clock or a number line and go backwards on the number line, okay? To see what time it is. I would say either one of those are tools that you can use because you're going to find that you might not just be able to set it up as a subtraction problem. A number line is going to be helpful. Okay? Yeah, what's up? You did? Okay, remember though, we were just talking. You're subtracting, right? So that's why the clock's there. Remember? Okay. All right, I'll give people a little bit of time. I would hope that you would use the number line or the clocks because I'm going to be honest with you, there are going to be problems where subtracting the time might not work. So if you set it up and subtracted the time, like a normal subtraction problem, there will be problems where it might not work. You'll end up with 95 minutes or 75 minutes, okay? The number line will help you avoid those issues, okay? The clocks, those two tools will help you. If you move the clocks counterclockwise, it should, in theory, move it back. It should help you check, okay? All right, another few minutes here. Give me a thumbs up when you got the answer that you think is right on that, okay? And then I'm going to write it down on your dry erase board, and then let me see, okay? All right, 3, 2, 1. Show me your answers. Okay, let's see what we got. Dean, what's your answer there, bud? Can you circle it for me?
5.5.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Dean, how did you go about solving that problem first? What tools did you use? Did you use the clock to check your answer? Did you use the number line to check your answer?
Well, I subtracted it.
Okay, you
When I got
subtract.
my answer, I just used the clock to make sure. I just wrote something on the number line just to feel smart.
Okay, so you wrote something on the number line just to feel smart. Okay, so you subtracted it. So tell me, how did you do that? I want to hear from you how you did this.
740.
740.
Put 2 under the
Yep.
7.
And then 1, 5.
Yeah.
And then you subtracted it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what'd you do?
Cross out 0.
Well, you can't cross out. So here, you mean the 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn into a 3.
Okay.
Turn 0 into a 10.
Okay.
Subtract it and make it 5. And then that turns into a 2.
Okay.
And then you put the 2 things and
5. Okay. So now I have a question for you, Dean. What if that answer had been the movie? What if the movie had lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes? Would you have been able to do that if this was 45?
Kinda not.
Kinda not, right? Because the numbers wouldn't work. You would end up if you followed it here, 3, 6, 13. Like I said, you'd end up with 495. Does that work, guys? Okay, so that's why subtracting like that may work sometimes, but if you end up with an answer that is in minutes of 95, it's not going to work. So the number line works. Did somebody use the number line to show me how? How did you do it with the number line? Can you tell me how you did that?
I used
So what was the first number you wrote down?
740.
Okay, so I'm going to just do it like this. Because boys and girls, on number lines, I saw a couple of people did a number line and they were happy in this way. That's okay, but we're subtracting and going backwards, right? Okay, so 740. So then what did you do? Because the movie lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I put 2 more lines for
Okay?
because
For
it's
how-
showing that 2 hours.
Okay, so 2 hours, okay, I like that. And what did you get when you moved back to?
I got 540.
Okay, perfect. That's great. And then what did you do after that?
And then roll
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Hey, Talika, even though I told you that it was subtraction, you still added the two numbers together. Okay? You should be paying attention to what she's saying, okay? Okay, well, I'm just saying, focus on that, okay? So 540, so 2 hours, okay, and then what did you do? Was your answer done then as a 540?
No.
What did you have to do after that?
I added a little line.
Like here?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then I showed that was 15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes, and then so 540 minus 15, because that would work, right? I'm assuming.
But
And what'd you get?
what I actually did was subtracted 40 and 15.
Yep, that works too. So 40 minus 15, and what'd you get? 3,
25.
10, 5, 2. So then you would have, and you left the 5 in front of it for 525? Okay, that is correct. Guys, what was astounding to me, some of you added time, even though I told you it was a subtraction problem when we were going backwards, okay? That's what Mr. Akers talks about, is the fact that we have to listen, okay? So let's try this problem here, and then I was pleased that a lot of you got it right. This one's a little different, okay? And so we're going to work on this together. So you can flip your dry erase board over, because I think they're double-sided, so you don't have to worry about erasing. Okay, so you guys are going to be going on some field trips, right, if you get your accelerated reader goal, right? So this is kind of similar to that, okay? Similar situation, okay? The 5th grade class is going on a field trip. They leave at 8 a.m. and return at 2:45 p.m. How long were they gone? Okay, so here's a question, guys. What are we solving for to start? Because that's the first thing with these story problems. What are we solving for?
How long were you gone?
Okay, how long were they gone? And will I be adding or subtracting to do this, guys? What do you think? Oh, subtracting? You think? It is addition, okay? Because that is, like, you're going to tell how long. You're not going to tell, because we know what time, right? So what's the other key piece of information for this problem? Just so we're starting. There are 2 pieces. Dean, what's one of the key pieces of information?
They returned at 2:45.
Okay, and then what's the other key piece of information, guys? What do you think? What's the other key piece of information? Okay, so there are a couple of ways you could solve it, guys. Couple of ways you could solve it. You could subtract if the numbers would work out. I don't know if they would. Right? Maybe. Or you could use a number line or those clocks that are there. So try to solve it on your dry erase board, and if you have questions about it, we know that we are probably going forward in time. But the question isn't when they got back, because you know it. We want to know how long they were gone, okay? So it won't be a time. It'll be like your answer will have something else in it, okay?
Wait, we're supposed to add?
Well, you're moving forward in time. You're not moving backwards, right, guys?
Yeah.
It's not asking you what time they get back. It's asking you how long they were gone, okay? That's why the timeline might actually help on this one. Or the number line. So no, I'm just saying, like, in the future. You don't have to do it now. Okay?
I'm going to start getting angry.
Couple more minutes. Do you got your answer?
Yeah, right there.
That's the amount of hours? Maybe try a number line. Okay, guys? Okay. So, what'd you get? Okay. We'll go another, I'm going to give you guys another 30 seconds to a minute on this to finish, to wrap it up. And check your answers, guys. Okay? Remember, you're not looking for a time. You are looking for something. You are looking for hours and minutes, not a time. And also, kind of use your noggin a little bit. If the school day starts at 8 a.m., which is a typical start time for us, does your answer make sense? That's the first question I would ask. Does my answer make sense? Every time. Does my answer make sense? Okay? So, 3, 2, 1. All right. Show me your answers, guys, real quick. Let's see what we got. Okay. What's that? Yep, good. Can I see? Patrick, hold it up. Okay. All right. So, what I would like, could you tell me how you did this problem? But real quick, how did you do the problem? What'd you start with? Tell me step by step. What'd you start with?
I started with a line,
Okay.
and I put 8 o'clock at the beginning.
So on this side, right? Yep. You put 8 o'clock. Okay, that makes sense. Because that's when they started. I like that. Okay, what else then?
Then I put 2:45 at the end.
Okay, so you put 2:45. Now, you didn't have to do that, right? Could I have just started making lines to figure it out? Okay, so 2:45 at the end. Okay, then what'd you do?
I added 3.
You added 3 because that's a nice whole number. I like that. So you went 1, 2, 3. So 3 hours plus. So that puts us at 11, right? Okay, then what'd you do?
And then I added 2 hours.
You added 2 hours, so 1, 2, and what'd that put you at?
1 o'clock.
2 hours, okay. So okay. So that puts me at 1 o'clock. Okay, and then what'd you do?
And then I added another hour.
You added another hour. Okay, I like that. Okay, so I've got 5 hours total, right? At this point, so you added plus 1 more hour, and what'd that give you?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Okay, and then so is my answer done then? So I was gone 6 hours.
No,
Oh, then what happens?
you had to add the 45.
Plus 45 minutes. Okay, I like that. And then what'd you get for that then?
6 hours and 45 minutes.
6 hours, 45 minutes. Okay, does everybody understand this, guys?
Yes.
Hey.
I forgot about the AM and PM.
Okay, well, it's not even the AM and the PM, guys. I saw some answers that were 10:55. People just did this. They added, or 10:45, and they went like this. Yes, I said we're adding time, but we're moving forward. Now I have a question for you. 1, does that tell me how long something lasted? What does that tell me?
It tells you
Is that a time or like an amount of time? 10:45.
it's a time.
It's a time, okay? Secondarily, guys, think about it. I could even understand because sometimes in sports they'll say, you know, if it took somebody 10 minutes and 45 seconds, they'll do it like this. That I understand. But here's a question for you. Written like this, obviously they were gone longer than 1 hour. So written like this, does 10 hours and 45 minutes make sense? Even logically. And why does that not make sense? Because guess what? Your school day doesn't even last that long. That's why the number line is so important. Guys, think. Before just taking numbers and smushing them, think. Use the number line. Okay? The clock isn't as helpful on this problem. The number line, the people that did the number line were within 10 minutes of the answer, okay? Every time. Now, I have a question. I want you guys, real quick before we end, tell me a little bit about, I want you guys to reteach me just so I can confirm that what I did was, you know, that I did things okay. So, guys, tell me a little bit. Can somebody tell me in their own words what elapsed time means? What does elapsed time mean in their own words? What's it mean?
Time that was in the past
Or,
or in the future.
right, okay? And what can it help us solve, guys? What can we solve for? We did some problems like this. What does it help us solve? Like those story problems. What does it involve? Like what steps? What do we do? Do we add? Do we multiply?
No.
Okay, what do we do? What was one thing that we can do with the elapsed time story problems?
Subtract.
Okay, so we can subtract time to find out what time something started. Okay, that works. What else can we do? Addition. So like we can find out, like what do you mean by addition? We can find out how long something lasted. How long something took. Okay, yeah, so how long, so like I can find out if something lasted 4 hours and 45 minutes and I got a start time, I can figure out, you know, and I don't have a start time, and all I have is the end time, I can figure out how long it lasted. Or I can find out, like, if somebody gives me, like on this one, Mr. Akers arrives at school at 7:30 and he's there for 8 hours and 35 minutes, I can also find out what time he's leaving, right? Okay, in the future. Okay, so that's good. What is probably the best way and most accurate way to solve these elapsed time problems? Patrick, what is a tool that you can use to help you solve these problems?
Use your clocks.
But if I didn't have that clock, what else could I do?
Use your line.
Number line?
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, do we agree that those are probably, do we agree with what people have said here? Okay. So, all right. So, thank you guys for being so attentive today. I would just say similarly. Let's not just continually don't take numbers and just smush them together. And the number line works. Those of you that used it, was it easier than trying to figure it out in your head?
Yes.
Or just adding it up like this? Okay? So, thank you guys for your attentiveness. On Monday, we will do a couple of review problems right at the start, and then I'll explain our activity, okay? It's going to be a good one, similar to I was really impressed with the work that you guys did with your, how much money can you buy with the food. So it's going to be similar to that, but it should be a lot of fun. So thank you guys, and you guys can head back to Mr. Akers' class, okay? And just leave your stuff there.